Hey y'all, this is Pastor Brandon with the next episode of the Fandom Pastor. Like many of you, I am doing the whole self quarantine thing. For those of you who are essential employees, thank you so much for all you're doing, and I hope that this kind of helps, uh, get you through the times, I guess. If you would, do me a favor, share this. Again, maybe this will give others a chance to kind of um, do some different things, to kind of connect in maybe a different way. So, we continue our series on the sci fi show Firefly. So far, we've discussed Mal, Wash, Zoe, Kaylee, Jane, and Book. And this week we focus on what many consider to be the central character of the story, River Tam. Now, River was portrayed by Summer Glue in one of her, and I think I pronounced that name right, in one of her really her first roles. She did a great job. River is pretty innocent, and one of the reasons is because she got experimented on at a young age, and she's almost reverted back to kind of this childlike demeanor. There's actually kind of a clip of it below. So, from Matthew 18:2-4. And calling to him a child, he put him in the midst of them and said, Truly I say to you, unless you turn and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Whoever humbles himself like this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Having watched, my own children grow up and become self-sufficient, it's easy to forget how dependent they were when they were younger. It's wild kind of watching somebody who has a baby now or younger children, um, you know, eventually becoming this walking, talking person, and eventually becoming an adult. It still amazes me to see that. Um, you think, well, it was so long ago, and it really isn't always that long ago, but that innocence that they have. Um, and so when I read the verses like from Matthew, I'm reminded that as a mature adult, from a worldly perspective, I'm pretty much self sufficient. I don't really need uh, anybody else. I have enough money to get almost anything I want, definitely anything I need. I still pretty much have my health. I have a wonderful wife and a family. The key word, though, in the first sentence is worldly. The reality is that God is my provider. Jesus is the reason I'm acceptable to God. I'm not worthy of God. I'm truly self sufficient. I am not really self sufficient without Him. I'm dependent on God for everything, just as an infant is dependent on their parents for survival. River, in the show, is completely innocent. I mean, she never really thinks beyond the here and now, and so she needs. Especially her brother Simon, but the rest of the crew of the Serenity to watch out for her, to protect her sometimes from even herself. Now she does have these moments where she goes beyond that, but in general she doesn't do really for herself very much at all. And as the show progresses, she does kind of connect and grow a little bit. But it's through the teaching, the direction, the guidance of those on the Serenity to watch out for her. As an adult, I can become too self sufficient and have too big an ego, and that's one of the things that's great about children is that they have this childlike way of realizing their dependence on their parents and such. And so I pray that I myself will learn that or get reminded of that regularly, that I need to depend on God. Because sometimes we just get that way, don't we? We become too big for our britches, as they say. So just think about that. Are you not childish, but childlike in your faith? Are you willing to completely and totally depend on God? So, join me in a couple weeks as we continue our Firefly series study. The clue for next week is this person. This person is compassionate almost to a fault. Thanks, and God bless.